Welcome back to another episode featuring a conversation with my dear friend and automotive legend, Alex Roy. Brought to you by APiDA Online, this is Offtrack.
Think about, signifier versus signified, to quote Jack Baruth and Central Wilson, the great theoreticians of our time. Okay. People project onto cars what they want and what they think the car will make other people think they have, which is why spec sheets as cars all become good and very similar, almost insignificant differences in their real capabilities.
Which is also why I drive an S-Class.
Right. And God bless you, my son. Why car advertising? I don't understand. I don't really feel like they really. I feel like they're still advertising cars like it's 10 years ago. Where it's like, oh my God, this car can outrun this by 0.4 of a second. I doubt anyone outside of Rolex 24 could actually get the car to do that. But if you put an ad up for any car that said, "Do you love your wife?" I'm gonna look at this guy.
Wow.
Well, one thing's for sure, he is going to buy a car based on a 70s ad. That guy's buying a Chrysler Cordoba.
That guy's going to buy a Jensen Interceptor right now.
You got that on camera?
Yeah.
Chrysler Cordoba. So, Corinthian leather. So, yeah, do you love your wife? So it seemed very obvious to me. There was a great article a few days ago about, the Jalopnik piece. It was like 10 cars most likely to kill you.
Yeah.
And then it was like the 9 cars that had no fatalities in the last 3 years. Audi A4.
Really?
Yeah, it was the only semi-cool performance car on that list, I think. That impressed me.
What we actually had a little debate going in our in the Jalopnik chat room, and I said, okay, this car that we're sitting in has 12 airbags. Okay, it was made in 2000. I wager that this car is safer than, say, a new Econobox, and then Raphael Orlov he said probably not, because there's a lot of different safety regulations that went in even between 2013 and 2014. Right. So, but the
real question is new Econobox versus old S-Class.
Right. Not even old S-Class, say old luxury car that was built to kind of exacting standards and really high quality whatever.
Well, Top Gear kind of attacked this. Have you seen the old Top Gear episode? They took a brand new small Renault and crashed it into old Volvo wagon.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? The Volvo passenger lost a leg, and the Renault guy walked away.
Oh yeah. Was that Top Gear? Was that Fifth Gear?
I don't know.
I think it might have been Fifth Gear. But yeah, I remember that. But what I'm saying is, say this is a heavy car. There's a lot of real estate between me and the accident. Like, say if I have a head-on collision.
I don't think that real estate matters. I think mass matters.
Mass does matter, but also crumple zones. I mean, this car was made.
Oh yeah, sure.
Say there's side curtain airbags and whatever.
You should really be comparing an old Cadillac, which has no technology.
Oh no! That is complete death trap. It'll buckle under like a 20 mile an hour. No, it's pretty bad.
So so every time I get in my '87 Targa, every time I get in it, as no matter how fast I want to drive, I can't stop thinking that it's gonna fold like a playing card that's in between my fingers.
Well, it's pretty much like a motorcycle at that point. You have but that's kind of the charm of driving something.
Let me tell you, it makes me a better driver.
Yeah.
In fact, if cars were less safe, people would. In fact, if cars were advertised for their danger, wouldn't people become better drivers? Because I promise you, when I get in that Targa, I'm.
But who would the demographic be exactly?
I'm like 85-year-old Ayrton Senna. I know I can go faster, but I've chosen not to.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, if there's a gap and you don't go for it, you're no longer a racing driver. Right?
Yeah, I mean, so the car should fold into a coffin, literally.
It just converts into a
coffin. Bury
coffin.
me in it. And when I drive my SM, which is a heavy car and old and has all. Do you want to talk about crumple zones and mass? I got a big crumple in the front of that car. It's like an entire car. But I know that that steering column is going right through. Again, all this car safety. I want, I'm going to look this up when you drop me off later. If fatalities have gone down, we know that. At one point, annual car fatalities in this country were equivalent to all the fatalities in Vietnam.
Wow.
Which is 59,000. There was a time in this country where you had 50.
That was in a year?
Yeah, for many years. You had fatalities in this country were well into the well above 50,000. And now was it 31,000? So, but I'm going to look up if the number of accidents, non-fatal accidents, just accidents, what that number is. Because before automated driving becomes ubiquitous, as people are there's gonna be a threshold. There's gonna be like a point where before automated cars are available, like the day before the first one's released,
right,
is gonna be the last day you can truly measure how many accidents occur, how many more accidents occur because people think they're safe in human-driven cars.
Okay.
And how many idiots do you know are like, yeah, I got an SUV, I got four-wheel drive, blah, 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 on all seasons. In the winter, can't understand why they're stuck.
Or summer tires.
Summer tires.
Summer tires in the winter.
So, and I'd like to know if more accidents occur because people think they're safer. Therefore, they're less afraid of being in an accident because they think they can survive it. Think of right? No, really. I mean, my friend, who shall remain nameless, Melanie, whom I love dearly, I said, you want to get a ride in Morgan 3-wheeler? She's like, no way! She's like, let's take the Denali or whatever it is. And I'm like, Denali? Yeah. That thing's death trap. And she's like, what do you mean? It's so safe. I'm like, well, I don't feel safe driving it because I feel like I'm more likely to get into an accident.
Because you're less aware. You can and you can see less around the car. I mean, with a Morgan, first of all, you're aware of everything that's going on, and everybody else is aware that you're there. Yeah. But in a Denali, you just blend into the crowd, and then you can forget how big the car is sometimes.
So, in other words,
you can't back over a kid with a Morgan.
Right. The kid's more likely to injure you.
Yeah, exactly. If a kid runs into the Morgan, it's totaled.
Well, I have yet to read an article talking about SUV network effect. Because driving an SUV is like, you think you're vaccinated, but if anyone else is not in one, actually it's true. So, people, if everyone drove an SUV, it might be safer, but you might have more accidents. If everyone drove a Morgan, car fatalities would quadruple in this country. So I guess SUVs...
But they'd have lived. They'd have truly lived.
Yeah, true driving pleasure.
That's fine.
Well, how long have we been talking?
Well, this has been recording for 59 minutes.
Yeah, oh, really? We were talking for an hour?
Yeah.
48 minutes? I feel like we didn't talk about anything we were going to talk about.
That's always the case, and that's why I think we should do this again. Yeah. But
be a recurring guest. I feel like I rambled too much, but that was an interesting conversation.
This should be called rambling with Alex.
In that case, I'm going to eat one of my energy bars if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so
that's really interesting stuff there, Tavar. You're a smart guy.
I think that's where we can end for today.
Do you want one of these? Chocolate cookie dough health bar.
Sure. Just let me do this little outro. And do you have anything you want to plug?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, you can see Alex on YouTube.com/drive.
There'll be more of that soon.
More of that soon. His stuff is really good. If you want to look at some of his older stuff, it's called Live and Let Drive.
Please don't. And
please don't. But please don't. And
there will be a secret project revealed soon, and then of course 2 more secret projects.
Okay. Well, when we turn off the camera, Alex is going to tell me all about the secret project. So we'll look forward to that. You can also see Alex Roy if you're in the area of New York, driving his Morgan. It's a 3-wheeled car, and
feel free to walk up and say hi. I've made so many great friends. People who say, "Oh, I saw that thing on Jalopnik." Walk up to me, and we have coffee. Happens all the time.
Yeah. So I think that's about it, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right. I hope you enjoyed the time with our guest because that was the last episode. But what did you think? You can leave a comment down below, or you can join us next time when we convince somebody else to take a ride. Be sure to follow Alex on his YouTube channel, especially if you like some insightful commentary about some seriously cool cars.
And you can check out APiDAonline.com for DIY guides, epic builds, and videos just like this updated daily. If you'd like to support APiDA Online, you can do so by clicking through the Amazon banner on our homepage. It costs you nothing, and it lets us keep making articles and videos like this for you for free. And on that note, always remember, life is just too short to drive boring cars.